It was a really interesting video that I was gonna watch. I think the dude's name was Stop Using Fandom. Yeah. Because I use that site a lot. Because it's a lot easier to just find stuff there.
The Hollow Knight Wiki has officially moved to a brand new website, hollowknight.wiki, leaving behind the previous wiki at hollowknight.fandom.com. The old Fandom wiki will no longer be updated by the same team who did an excellent job contributing to and building it up.
By the way, Hollow Knight is my favorite game of all time. If you haven't played Hollow Knight yet, not hashtag ad, but you should buy it and play it. Goes on sale pretty regularly. So, if you feel like it, be sure to pick it up. My hair looks fucked. I need a haircut.
If you ever need to look up the location of a pale ore, or for some reason don't remember one of Zod's precepts, please look it up using the new wiki. Also,
I did
if
it
you're
all
on
the time
desktop,
for the
you should
grubs.
consider downloading the Indie Wiki Buddy extension, which will redirect all Hollow Knight fandom links to the new wiki. You may be wondering why the Hollow Knight Wiki community chose to leave behind a site they had already established.
Oh,
The answer lies with the company hosting the original Hollow Knight Wiki, Fandom. Fandom is a wiki farm, or basically a website that hosts multiple wikis. The company was founded in 2004 under the name Wiki Cities, in part by Jim Wales, the co-founder of Wikipedia. The name was eventually changed to Wikia in 2006, and finally Fandom in 2016. Despite its similar origins to Wikipedia, Fandom is a completely different site. Fandom is a for-profit company, and is held to an entirely different standard than Wikipedia. Fandom's success as a wiki farm is difficult to deny, with the company hosting a reported 250,000 unique wikis, ranging from the largest entertainment IPs in the world to small burgeoning indie communities to bizarre but popular niches to complete and utter shitposts. Fandom's reach on pop culture is gargantuan.
I mean, to be honest with the Smurfs thing, I can understand it because, for one, you had the baby Smurf meme that recently surfaced. I don't even understand why it's a meme. But there's also the Stumble Guys. The Stumble Guys, little sponsored with Smurfs, the collab. Wait, did I say sponsor? It's not sponsored. So the Smurfs, hella based to have a fandom on. But right now, it's like, yeah, I use Fandom for a lot of different games. It's just a lot easier to quickly, like, look up, oh yeah, where's the location of this thing? Because I just don't want to, like, spend all the time to research that stuff myself. At the same time, when a new game is out, you can't really do that. And that's a lot of the reason, like, why people think, like, oh yeah, gaming's gone too easy. Like, you can find guides on everything and everyone. You can find a guide on me, guy that rarely talks in his fucking playthroughs. Oh my god, I'm depressed.
And the wikis hosted on their site have an insane amount of reach. But over the last several years, a number of wiki communities have decided to part ways with Fandom. Recent years have seen the departures of Zelda Wiki, Fallout Wiki, Terraria Wiki, Ark Survival Evolved Wiki, Arthur Wiki, Noita Wiki, JoJo...
Not fucking Arthur! JoJo's! But why? What did they do? I mean, with a lot of those sites, like, the big problem, I guess, is just, like, the very intrusive ads, having, like, the ad... Like, it was even shown, like, in the little thing that it was showing up, where it was, like, in the bottom right corner, it was just a... Wait, now that I think about it, my camera's covering that, so it's fine. But yeah, there was, like, just this burger ad, and it will just, like, immediately start playing. Like, the ads on those sites are always super intrusive and not fun. But then again, haven't you heard of ad blocker? I'm not saying to install it, because that's against TOS.
JoJo's Bizarre Encyclopedia, RuneScape Wiki, Diary of a Wimpy Kid Wiki, Rhythm Heaven Wiki, and most notably, Croc Wiki.
No!
But as of just a few weeks ago,
I thought I was gonna say Hollow Knight.
Minecraft Wiki finished moving off of Fandom as well, with members of the
thought
community
Minecraft had
citing
just
reasons
its
to
own
leave
site.
as aggressive ads and branding, degraded readers' experience, and the infamous Grimace incident. But just how bad is
I didn't pre-watch, I swear. I did not pre-watch it. But yeah, I thought I was gonna say Hollow Knight. And with Minecraft, I thought it was just like, you can go to Minecraft. I didn't use a fandom wiki thing for Minecraft stuff, because everything was like on Minecraft itself. Or is it some kind of like Mojang form? I don't know. But it definitely wasn't a fandom link. Because they even have like the crafting recipes, and like it changes between the blocks. Like if you need like a wood, but it doesn't matter what wood, it still says like, oh yeah, these wood. And it looks really cool. But I don't think Minecraft ever was. At the same time, I rarely play it, so.
fandom, you may ask? If you poke around various internet threads and forum posts, it won't take long to find numerous complaints about Fandom's website. The most common complaint is the website's aggressive ads. Giant video ads will appear at the very top of the page.
Yeah, that's the
which
most
will
annoying
pop out
one.
and follow you as you scroll down. Once the ad is finished, the video player will then start auto-playing some random
Something
fandom
else.
content
Yep.
that often has nothing to do with the wiki you're on. The experience is even worse on mobile, where precious screen
Oh my
real estate is
god.
devoured
Imagine
by
using
enormous ads and
mobile for that.
pop-ups. Fandom also likes to put distracting features on pages as well, such as things like fandom trivia, little quizzes you can take to test your knowledge on various media
I always
franchises,
ignore those, but
as well as
why?
be subjected to about a dozen different banner ads. They also like to push completely
Here, hold up. They really said, hold up. Oh yeah, while this question's loading, watch this ad real quick. They said, oh yeah, hold up, it's a 10-question quiz and the question's already preloaded, but we're gonna give you the illusion that the question's loading, so here's a little ad to watch.
ads. They also like to push completely unrelated wikis to the wiki you're on as a form of cross-promotion.
Because they're the most popular.
Inside the middle of articles. Like this page on Team Cherry just has a GameSpot expert review from 2018 shoved into the middle of it, despite it already being shoved into the top corner of the page higher up. This same video is also on like every other page on this entire wiki.
Because video
I'm honestly
brings
not
better
exactly sure why you would ever be looking for a review of Hollow Knight if you're already on the wiki, but it makes a lot more sense when you consider that GameSpot is owned by Fandom.
And would you look at that? I did not pre-watch it. I didn't pre-watch it. I just know. It's literally because they want to send people over to the video because it makes more money than just clicking through every website. Because you get like 1/100th of a cent for every single click on a page in those wikis. This is the same thing that happens with Wikipedia, of course. But yeah, it's like they'll have very limited information, or they'll just find some way to dedicate a different page to like, oh yeah, this is the main character, and the main character uses this weapon, and just like, oh yeah, now there's a page for this weapon, and this weapon fires a bullet called a silver bullet, and this silver bullet has a separate page. These silver bullets were crafted and forged in the fires of hell. And it will just say something like that. And meanwhile, you've clicked through 3 pages. And now add like hundreds of thousands of people, and suddenly you're making bank.
The final straw for the Hollow Knight wiki community in particular was the introduction of AI-generated quick answers that were added to numerous wiki pages and were filled with completely wrong information.
Of course.
Did you know that the White Lady gives the knight the Deathwin, a powerful enchanted weapon? Or that Hornet is shipped with Yorktown, her older sister, Enterprise, her older sister, and the Eagle Union? These quick questions were implemented by Fandom without warning.
How old was Hermione when she got pregnant? That was never even mentioned, because I think after the events of Harry Potter, it's just a jump cut all the way to the future, and just like, oh wow, yeah, look, the cast, this is them now. And never mentions anything.
And community admins had no ability to remove them from their wikis.
That's stupid. Like, you have admins to make sure that people don't grief pages. So why would they not be able to remove AI responses that are literally wrong. I don't get it. Also, Funtime Foxy is an animatronic character from the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, first appearing as a second antagonist in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. They are an intact version of Mangle and can be found within the remains of Ennard. They also feature as a major character in Ultimate Custom Night. There's like 2 correct things in there. All the rest is wrong.
Fandom quickly removed this feature due to extremely vocal backlash, but they haven't completely canned it, hoping to reintroduce the system later on, without any clear word on whether or not communities will be able to turn it off. Another example of Fandom shoving things people don't want on their site is this sidebar, which is always displayed on the...
Dude, that sidebar pisses me off, especially if you have multiple tabs, multiple monitors. Because what would happen is you go from that one little tab here to your other monitor, and you hover over, for example, games, and then you look at your other monitor where you're clicking on something. But guess what? That games tab is still visible. Like, what's in that games tab is still visible, and it might even like cover up something that you wanted to read while doing something on your other monitor. It's so annoying.
Side of any wiki page you visit. That way you're always just one click away from Fandom's anime page, which is just links to a bunch of popular anime wikis, as well as the honest trailer for the 2008 anime classic Speed Racer. This sounds a bit random, but it makes sense when you consider that Screen Junkies is owned by Fandom. You can also access the beta for Fandom's new Fan Central, which is some kind of strange social media feed where you follow specific fandoms. There are lots of posts on here, but they don't seem to be getting much engagement at all. But who knows? Maybe this will be what...
Nobody actually used that shit, and I can guarantee you these are just either AI generated by some fake accounts that they've created, or it's like the people that own it themselves. Or even like, oh yeah, if you're an admin, you have to post on the fandom thing.
Finally kills Twitter. For some reason, I get a lot of posts from the Funkipedia Mods fandom. Glad to see they're still kicking in the year of our Lord 2023. Because Fandom likes to insert all these ads and video elements and other random crap into their website, they also restrict how a wiki is allowed to look. Fandom, along with pretty much every wiki on the internet, is built on the open source software MediaWiki. But Fandom is far more restrictive of how a community can lay out and style their wiki, and many administration features are blocked behind Fandom representatives, limiting creative choice among wiki communities. A good example of this is Fandom's policy towards community moderation and user verification. Fandom does provide some protection against vandalism, but the options are limited. Outside of a complete page lockdown for everyone except admins, which is not a good long-term solution, any page protection on Fandom can be passed by users who are verified, a process which happens automatically 4 days after an account is created and registered.
It only takes you 4 days to fully register? Like, you can just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a little shitty troll today. Oh wait, I can't do it yet. Give it 4 days. All I have to do, make a quick account, just be like, oh yeah, I'll just come back 4 days later. And they can have free range to vandalize everything. Why can't they just make it, oh yeah, you have to make an account, and that account also has to have positive interactions in the wiki itself. You know? Like, it needs to have like some kind of engagement on those posts. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, after 4 days you're verified. Like, oh, you didn't do anything? You weren't even on the site? Well, you know what? Verified anyway. There you go. Now you get to edit every page that you want.
Fandom wants to keep the bar for access to edit wikis low, since they believe that wikis belong to the community, and everyone should be allowed to contribute. This is actually fairly reasonable, but it doesn't quite work as well for fandoms composed primarily of shit posters. Case in point, Pizza Tower. Vandalism became a huge concern for the Pizza Tower wiki in the summer of 2023. Due to the average Pizza Tower fan being approximately 11 months old, the wiki became overrun
Oh,
with people
sorry for
inserting
my
tons
juicer.
of random memes into pages. The constant vandalism drove the moderators to fork the wiki and move it to a completely different wiki farm website, Mirahees. Of course, you'll find vandals attempting to deface any wiki site. If you didn't know that, welcome to the internet.
Welcome to the
Please leave before you learn what the word bussy means. Every wiki has to
Oh,
be
there's nothing wrong with boy pussy. What the fuck? I like those silly little ones though. When somebody vandalizes but doesn't actually like vandalize from the main thing, it's like very easy to remove and it's just some random sentence right below like all the good information. This guy fucks.
deal with
I like
vandalism
those.
in one form or another. But if your wiki is on Fandom, it's not just vandals that might show up to deface your
Those are
articles.
fun.
It might be a mega corporation looking to advertise their newest product.
And they show Melee, dude. And he fucking shows Melee. Good one, man. We already know. Dude, what happened with Melee is so fucking sad. It was already really bad, but Nintendo just has to keep cracking down and making it worse and worse. Like even like people with that are playing Ultimate are being affected now, right? Because of this shit. Like with the changes to like the way you have to run your tournaments. It's just like, oh man, you're playing a game that hasn't been that isn't being produced for like 10 years. How fucking dare you, dude? I don't fucking get it. Let people just enjoy the damn game that they enjoy. Like, it doesn't hurt them. If the melee scene thrives, more people will be like, oh my god, I want to get into the new Smash Bros. Game so that I can be a legend like those people that are really good at Smash Bros. Melee because it looks really cool. And I can bet you right now that a lot of people that bought Ultimate are thinking that exact thing. Because they saw Melee tournaments, they were like, oh my god, Smash seems like really fun, but Melee, not really my cup of tea. I want to buy a later Smash game, which is going to be so much better. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how Nintendo can fuck that up so hard. Like, it doesn't hurt them. It only helps them. It doesn't deter people from buying the next Smash game because, oh, Melee's too good. No, people are going to buy the new Smash game because people actually want, fun fact, something that plays like Melee, but with updated graphics. People want shit like that. People love shit like that. Ultimate was a step in the right direction, by the way. Speaking of that, it's a little bit slower, but it definitely felt way less floaty than Smash 4. Like, I just don't understand why they fucked that up.
It might be a mega corporation looking to advertise their newest product. Long ago, in the summer of 2023,
Oh god, Grimace
McDonald's
incident.
released a Grimace Shake to celebrate the birthday of McDonald's anti-hero mascot, Grimace. The Grimace Shake was
Completely
a huge
forgotten about,
success,
by the way.
beloved by people all over the world. Just look at all these happy faces. But there's a more sinister side to this corporate marketing stunt. To help promote the Grimace Shake event, McDonald's paid Fandom to alter the Grimace article on the McDonald's wiki, distorting it into one big advertisement. Fandom replaced the independent research done by volunteers with what I can only describe as Grimace propaganda. His ass is not driving that car. Even the front page of the McDonald's wiki wasn't safe from Grimace's grubby paws. The entire front page became a paid promotion, with adverts luring visitors to download the McDonald's app, and a commercial where Brian Cox demanded helpless viewers to partake in the drinking of the Grimace Shake.
Get Grimace's birthday shake with 10-piece McNuggets or a Big Mac when you order Grimace's birthday meal.
Yummy, the Grimace Shake. What the hell was that? So they edited full pages to then link to their McDonald's app so that people can buy the Grimace Shake / menu. But I guess it was like under the pretense of like, oh, find out more about Grimace over on this app. This is one of those examples where like the meme is being capitalized on too much. Like, I understand it. I respect the hustle of capitalizing on the meme, right? But it was, I mean, I guess it was just too much, and just changing like the actual works. This fucking guy also had a game about him, right? It was weird.
You move against me, I'll put a hole in the back of your fucking head.
The front
What?
page of a wiki is arguably the most sacred and important of them all, with editing rights usually restricted only to the admins themselves. To change that to an advertisement? Well, to quote a wise man, what a joke. One of the prominent
Indeed.
contributors to the Grimace wiki page shared his frustrations on Twitter, pointing out the clear ethical quandaries related to fandom replacing actual articles with advertisements. It sets a dangerous precedent for how fandom is allowed to replace or alter community content, the very same community content they claim to believe is so important.
But guys, it's fine. You want to know why? Because I got paid. You know? Come on. Who can resist the bag? I'll spread any kind of propaganda as long as there's a paycheck for me in the end. The community doesn't pay me. They only pay me in boogers. I was trying to think of the word, but they pay me in pennies. Fuck, boogers. Really? That's that's the thing I said. Boogers. The community only pays me in pennies, but McDonald's, they offered me $100 and a Grimace Shake. Oh, it was perfect.
Hopefully you can understand why so many wiki communities have been jumping ship. Wikis are a ton of work, and communities need to have trust that their hosts actually care about them. And Fandom's recent actions seem to indicate that the company is more interested in building out their own pop culture social media hub, paid for by advertisements plastered all over user-generated wikis, than it is in listening to those communities and helping make those wikis better. And Fandom will introduce features and replace content in any way they see fit, without clearly communicating with those who generate the website's true value. Of course, Fandom is well within their right to
He's
do all
everywhere.
this. It is their website after all, and migrating off of Fandom isn't exactly easy. When the Pizza Tower wiki forked, there was a desire by some in the community to have the Fandom site decommissioned. Fandom representative Sant3D made it clear that the Fandom wiki would not be removed. To quote the Fandom,
Well, you see, with the information that's still on there, and maybe some people that are stupid enough to still contribute to the fandom page, we can still make some money off of that. Come on, why would we discontinue it? Even if it's false information that is, like, completely irrelevant, like 2 patches later. Pfft, I don't care. It's still up there. Oh, free money. You know? It's all just scummy capitalist
representative.
pigs.
as I mentioned, this wiki will remain as long as there is a community enjoying it. You can call that Fandom being greedy, but the people who would be hurt the most if this wiki was closed are the Pizza Tower community.
Wrong.
Sant is basically explaining that because the Fandom page was currently getting more traffic than the new Mirahis site, the larger Pizza Tower community would suffer from the Fandom site's closure.
That's completely wrong, and I'll tell you why. The reason why Mirahis, the other site, isn't getting as many people is because the fandom page for Pizza Tower is still up there. If the Pizza Tower fandom page was gone, the Mirahis page would get a lot more people and a lot more traction. But because the Pizza Tower on the fandom, the bigger site, is still up, it's taking away potential traction from Pizza Tower fans. Because it's still up. Even if they don't update it anymore. At least that's what I think.
It makes no sense, of course, but it would also make no sense for Fandom to take down a wiki site that generates some revenue when they don't have to. Sant goes on to say, Fandom is by far the biggest and most popular wiki hosting platform. It's the most stable and the most supported, making it very difficult to compete with. If you work on a wiki hosted elsewhere, competing with Fandom is a challenge you'll have to face. I don't envy you and I wish you well. but I can't throw the larger Pizza Tower community under the bus to alleviate your challenges. I know that's not your intention either, but it's what would happen if this wiki was closed.
God, it's so manipulative. What a fucking asshole. I hope there's just some people that remove every single thing from that page and they constantly have to re-update it with the information. Oh, I hope they don't have a copy paste or like a backlog of it. I hope they don't have something that was saved in their damn website so that they can never have that information back again. Unless they're gonna start copying from the other wiki page. Then I guess. I mean, that does mean that they're forced to keep it updated instead of just leaving it there and having revenue from an outdated website page. You know? Maybe that's just better. Yeah. But yeah, it's so fucking manipulative of being like, yeah, you see, we respect your decision, but think of the fans. Think of the fans. What would they think if we remove their Pizza Tower page?
The fact that the Fandom Wiki still exists after a fork acts as a huge deterrent for anyone looking to leave fandom, and that's due to search engine optimization. If you look at the wiki for any community, chances are the first result will be fandom. For example, the official wiki for Dead Cells, hosted on wiki.gg and supported by the developers themselves, appears second on Google, below the Fandom site they forked from in January 2023. The same goes for the official Calamity mod wiki, a wiki dedicated to the incredibly popular Terraria mod. They forked from Fandom in early 2022 and are still below the Fandom site on Google. To make matters worse, the Fandom wiki has become an absolute joke in the community, full of
The wiki for the Fandom, the wiki developer shifted to the wiki.gg site recently, but fandom.com, which hosted the old wiki, wouldn't let them delete the old page. Therefore, the community decided to have a little fun with the wiki and periodically rate it, add tons of new content that doesn't exist. Obviously, none of that actual stuff is being updated. And there it is. Again, not pre-watched. You can summarize this entire reaction to not pre-watched, but it's exactly as I said. Like, they don't update the pages, so like it's just there to generate revenue. And it's really funny, like if you add new stuff that doesn't actually exist, who's gonna fact check it? The Fandom people that don't actually fucking care and just want to pump ads all over your screen and create some kind of micro social media community? No, they won't. It's too much work, right?
outdated information as well as containing pages about bosses and items that literally do not exist. So
Glitch is just missing
and
now.
vandalized Fandom wikis
Evil
can still claim the top
animatronic.
spot on search engines. It's even believed that vandalism can actually make a Fandom wiki more popular in search engine results. Now, Fandom isn't completely unreasonable. If you do decide to fork, you are allowed to promote your new site on the Fandom page
Oh,
for about 2 weeks,
and then they take
after
it
which the
down.
link is removed, and any wiki admins involved in the new wiki are locked out of their admin rights on the Fandom wiki. All of this can cause
Yeah,
a lot of wiki
what is-
teams to just stay on Fandom, not wanting to deal with the SEO fight awaiting them should they choose to fork. They also have to consider the non-English speaking wikis, who are moderated by separate teams.
I should read all of these because there was something interesting that one of those people said. And I believe that splitting one wiki into two would resolve more problems than it would cause. It has already been discussed before that such an action de facto would not constitute a move. It would be a split. Unless with Mojang's involvement, the new wiki receives a status tantamount to what this wiki used to have. An official developer-backed wiki. And not see how people would be inclined to mass migrate from a service that they have been using for the past decade. Especially when the wiki is most likely going to be outranked by Fandom in search results and not spreading through the community easily. Yeah, that see, I understand why people wouldn't want to change, but at the same time, Fandom doesn't care. Like, I think if like a bunch of big games want to mass migrate, kind of what's happening right now, right? Like with Hollow Knight being one of the newer games to migrate. Like, it's kind of what's happening right now. but we need more games to migrate away from fandom, so that even with search engine optimization, the page is gonna be like, it doesn't matter if it leads to that page, because the page is gonna have misinformation.
Fandom not wanting to.
I have no love for fandom, but my biggest worry is that fandom is very likely to buy out wiki.gg when they start getting too big, and then we're back to square one. That's the interesting comment I was thinking about when I was reading through this and listening. I've lost a lot in the process. Yeah, it's a lot of time investment when all fandom has to do is, hey, yeah, wiki.gg, want to have a bag real quick? I want your site. It's just that easy. That's just the way that the capitalist circle works, huh? It's like, if you just buy him out, it's too bad. All that work for you to avoid fandom, it's completely down the drain. So I can understand why. That's also another reason why people wouldn't want to. And that's just not as easily resolved with just like, oh yeah, more big games need to change it, because they already have like a huge bag from all those years that they had already like hosted all these games and all the information, all that, and there weren't other wikis, so they already have like all these resources, this entire bag, that they can just be like, oh yeah, well, wiki.gg getting a little bit too big, hey, we'll shove like a good 3 million your way. It's more than you'll ever have. Ho 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 ho. It's just not as black and white as the other problem. I was just being like, oh yeah, if you have developer backed and like a lot of games did it, it would be a lot easier. But like with stuff like being able to buy it out, that's when things get a little bit more blurry. Another concern is that there's no hope to compete against Fandom's SEO, and the new wiki will just get buried under Google's page results. Fandom's WoW Wiki is still top of all results ahead of Wowpedia, even though WoW Wiki has been dead for 13 years. The new wiki will be far behind both WoW Wiki and Wowpedia. All in all, it doesn't feel worth losing all the work from the past decade. Yeah. Again, it's a huge time commitment to migrate. And the bigger the game, especially MMO, like this, if this is about WoW, like World of Warcraft WoW, then that thing's gonna have like millions of pages. Okay, maybe not millions, but I thought there was a different site that people were using for WoW information. Wasn't it like called like Wowhead? Isn't that the site that people use for WoW information? Hold up, I have to do my research. Yeah, this is the site that people use for it, right? Decline. Why would I want notifications? Yeah, this is the site that people use for information, not some kind of fandom link. SMH.
To deal with the SEO fight awaiting them should they choose to fork. They also have to consider
The idea of forking the wiki, because it will have a negative impact on both readers and contributors, additionally, so oppose. It will create a division within the communities on both wikis, of particularly affecting non-English wikis with limited active users. Even if fandom is bad, I believe that the proposed fork is still an unfavorable solution. Ideally, a complete transition of the entire wiki across all languages, removing it from fandom and redirecting it to wiki.gg, would have been a better approach. Unfortunately, it appears that this option is impossible, because fandom doesn't want to delete. Yeah, and your hands are just tied. You know? If they don't want to delete it, it's like, shit. Plus the SEO. Plus with the fact that it's just a bigger site. In both amount of money and an amount of users. It's an uphill battle for sure. If there was another way to go about it. Like, yeah, just talking about it is interesting. Telling people to stop using fandom is an interesting approach to it, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough, because not a lot of people are going to be looking towards YouTube videos for information on games, because a lot of people play games, don't watch YouTube, and they do occasionally need some kind of information. Like, hey, yeah, where do I find this? Where do I find that? They'll just look that up, find the fandom wiki page, instead of watching a YouTube video on it, and then finding a YouTube video that says, hey, yeah, stop using fandom, you know? Like, it's an interesting, like, it's an alright idea to make, like, videos on it and have, like, little call-out posts about it, but in the long run, it's never gonna be effective. It reminds me of something, like, oh, fuck me, not stop using, it's, Hogwarts Legacy. Like, the whole thing was like, oh yeah, streamers are constantly being, like, shot on for playing the game. And a lot of people were like, hey, yeah, don't buy the game. The IP is from a transphobe, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't buy the game because of that. But what they fail to realize is that a lot of people don't use social media like that. They're just like, hey, yeah, wow, Harry Potter. And then they bought the game, you know? Like, that's why those social media campaigns don't really work out. Because the majority of people don't use social media like that. And if they see something on social media that they don't like, guess what they do? Because they're actually, you know, respectable people in society, they just fucking close the thing. They fucking close social media. And they're like, I'm gonna do something else. So these kinds of campaigns only really work on people that are as brain dead social media scrollers as the people that start these campaigns, you know? And that is just a very small community. And even in the people that, like, use social media as brain dead as the people that start these kind of campaigns, even in that group, there are some people that will still say, no, I won't be doing that because it makes my quality of life go down. You know? So it just doesn't really work. It's like, oh, they'll just be like, oh yeah, I just want to live my life, and doing all that makes my life harder than it has to be. You know? That's what I think with this kind of stuff. Like, if Fandom deleted it, it would have been easy. If Fandom wasn't as big as it was, it would have been easy. But they'll never be as big as they are now, because a lot of people don't care about some kind of ethical ramification.
Non-English speaking wikis who are moderated by separate teams that might not follow should the English wiki decide to fork. On top of all of that, Google suppresses what it considers duplicate content, so wiki pages will need to be altered so they aren't word for word the same as the original fandom pages.
God,
With
that's
all
so
of
fucking
this stacked up against wiki communities then, I think it's incredible how many have taken the plunge in these past few years to say goodbye to fandom and find a home somewhere else.
You know what?
But
Based.
that's the next big question. If not fandom, then where? It's a question that every community looking to leave fandom has to answer. And each solution has its own benefits and drawbacks that need to be considered. The Minecraft wiki community recently engaged in a lengthy discussion regarding this very topic, voting to decide on their new home. So let's take a look at the various options out there for communities looking to leave fandom behind. Wiki.gg is a wiki farm launched in March of 2022 that already has over 200 gaming wikis, including the official Dying Light wiki and the official Terraria wiki, as well as the wikis for Cuphead, Ace Combat, Ark Survival Evolved, and the obscure indie gem you've probably never heard of, Friday Night Funking.
Whoa, no way.
Wiki.gg
What's
was
that game?
launched by Freedom
Sounds
Games,
really cool.
an indie publisher co-founded by Donovan Duncan, a former president
Dunkin'
at
Donuts.
Fandom, and Ben Robinson, the
Oh,
founder
shit.
of Gamepedia, another wiki farm created in 2012, which was eventually bought out by Fandom in 2018. Wiki.gg was established in direct opposition to Fandom's ad-riddled experience. And while almost every wiki site needs to run ads to cover their costs, Wiki.gg is unique in that all of their ads are for games published by Freedom Games, or by other
Oh,
indie
yeah, I
developers
guess.
looking to partner with wiki.gg, so you don't have to worry about the
That is respectable. Don't get me wrong. Respectable. But it's not going to work out. Because a lot of people are not going to be interested. Because, for one, a lot of people don't even take the plunge and play indie games. Because a lot of indie games aren't good. I can say that. I can say that. Because it's the truth. A lot of indie games aren't good. See, Fandom kind of abandoned the whole, like, moral aspect, the whole ethical aspect of, like, oh yeah, we'll just be, like, hosting our own games or other indie games. It's, like, very morally acceptable, right? But because Fandom abandoned that, they'll always have more money. They'll always have more money. And it will put wiki.gg in a bad position because they'll just be like, oh yeah, we'll just buy over wiki.gg. Because those guys, they kind of take away a couple of our potential wiki users. And we don't want that. So, yeah, just like, oh yeah, morally, ethically running indie game corporations ads. Wow, really cool. But because you make that stance, you're making way less than you could potentially have. And you're making it just harder on yourself. I understand why you do it, but it's not going to work out.
really sketchy ads that appear on pretty much every other website on the internet. Another well-known wiki farm site is Mirahees, which has been around since 2015. The entire place is run from user donations and is completely ad-free, which is kind of insane.
It is
Mirahees
insane.
hosts over 7,000 wiki sites, including the official Rain World wiki, the Pizza Tower wiki, and most notably, the Croc wiki.
Yes!
Mirahees is similar to Fandom in that
Let's
making a
fucking
wiki
go,
on
Croc.
their site is fairly straightforward. Where it differs is that Mirahees gives editors a lot more freedom. More skins, more extensions, the ability to set up custom domains, and even the ability to make completely private wikis. Of course, if you don't want to be hosted by a large wiki farm, another option is to just host the wiki yourself.
Just do it
That's
yourself,
what the JoJo Wiki
forehead.
decided to do after forking from Fandom in 2019. According to their support page, it costs $480 a month to maintain the servers for JoJo Wiki. To cover the costs, the wiki does feature ads, but in
Oh,
a far
man,
less intrusive
no.
way than Fandom. The website also runs a Patreon, where members of the community can donate to help keep the lights on.
See, that's the best way to just go about it. It's like, don't take the moral grandstanding stance of like, hey, yeah, let's fucking only host indie corporation ads. Just make them less intrusive. The problem with people was that the ads are too intrusive on Fandom. That was the problem. I don't care what fucking ads there are. I'm not gonna click them. Just don't make them as dog shit as what Fandom did. And then you can just host whatever fucking ad you want. Jesus, if there's some kind of hentai game with a hardcore fuck on the side, I'm like, whatever. I'm just looking up information about Barbie's horse that I need to properly maintain and take care of.
JoJo is just one of many independently run wiki sites, alongside Fallout Wiki, Smash Wiki, Jiggy Wiki, the wiki that shall not be named, the
Wait, why
Homestar
not?
Runner
I
Wiki,
don't get it.
Wikipedia, and many, many more. The benefits of self-hosting should be obvious.
Ooh.
Self-hosted wikis have the freedom to do pretty much anything they want. They don't have to worry about any administrative powers that aren't
And you have
directly
to-
connected to the community itself. The biggest drawback to self-hosting
Kingdom Hearts?
is that it's very complicated to set up. There's a lot of technical know-how required in self-hosting a wiki site, not to mention the expenses involved. Luckily, there are a lot of ways to operate as an independent wiki, while also receiving the support usually provided by a wiki farm, and that's through independent wiki alliances. These are groups of multiple wikis that work together to promote one another and assist with all the aspects of maintaining a high-quality wiki. One of the most prominent groups like this is the Nintendo Independent Wiki Alliance, or NIWA.
They put Dragalia Lost there, but Dragalia Lost is dead. Rip Dragalia lost, by the way. But yeah, that's like the best way to go about it, I guess. Having those wikis work together. As long as we don't use fucking fandom, right?
Niwa was founded in 2010 by 3 separate prominent Nintendo wikis: Super Mario Wiki, Zelda Wiki, and Bulbapedia. This alliance was formed as a response to concerns over the corporatization of gaming community wikis.
That's the one I use
Niwa
all the
was
time.
eventually founded, Archaic, the webmaster of Bulbagarden, explained why he saw such value in independent wikis working together, saying in 2010, "I do feel that meddling in the operation of our fan community..."
Hold up, really quickly. What the fuck, Mossbag? You're stealing my Rockwell font. That's my thing. I thought nobody else knew about this font, and I thought it looked really cool. I'll just do like everyone else and take fucking Mr. Beast font, I guess. Jesus. Yeah, it's cool that they all work together. It just makes sense to do that. It's a good option. I think it's a good option. Of course, it's going to be a little bit harder because you don't have like a multitude of different games all being funneled into one website. But Bulbapedia's been around for forever, so, you know, should work out. Bulbapedia, my favorite.
By essentially
Much better than
faceless managers
Database.
at Wikia
Face.
really needs to be stopped. So yes, the concerns with fandom have existed for over 10 years now. Archaic continues. The main reason people seem to go to Wikia is because they lack the funds or technical expertise to operate such large communities. A network of the independents cooperating, however, may allow us to assist up-and-coming communities out there. Us geek, nerds, and assorted misfits need to stick together, right? Niwa now contains 30 separate, independent wikis, of which some, but not all, are self-hosted. Bulbagarden provides hosting for Nintendo Wiki and the F-Zero Wiki, among others. Another site, abxy.org, provides hosting for the Metroid Wiki and Zelda Wiki. Both Bulbagarden and abxy have been in operation for over 15 years now, and offer wiki communities a large degree of freedom while also providing guidance and expertise from over 15 years of operation. In fact, abxy is the host that the Hollow Knight Wiki ultimately decided to migrate to. However, out of all the wikis that have forked from Fandom in recent years, there's one community that has clearly won out in the Google SEO battle, and that's the RuneScape Wiki. When they forked from Fandom in
Holy
2018, they partnered with the game's developer, Jagex, to establish the official RuneScape and old-school RuneScape wikis. Their partnership was in the works for an entire year before the actual fork, and the admins even established their own company, Weird Gloop Ltd. Weird Gloop's success with the RuneScape forking and SEO battle with Fandom is what ultimately convinced the Minecraft wiki community to migrate over to their team.
Yeah, if
Wikis
Mojang
occupy
worked,
an interesting space in the modern internet culture.
yeah, if Mojang worked with them, like that's I think that's the wiki I use for Minecraft. Yeah, like you saw it in the thing that RuneScape was above Fandom. They won that SEO battle. Hell yeah, that's so good. That's so good. We love seeing that.
As more and more people go online each year, the internet is condensing into fewer and fewer sites. Message boards and online forums have been replaced by social media and walled gardens. Fandom is a crystallization of this exact same phenomenon in the shape of internet wikis. They want to capture every last community they can and create some kind of pop culture zeitgeist. But here's what separates Fandom from other big social media platforms. You can't make a video hosting site better than YouTube. You can't make a social media site as connected and influential as Facebook. You can't...
Shut up. That's wrong. That's wrong. A lot of people have stopped using Facebook altogether. That is just plain wrong. But yeah, you can make a better wiki site because they don't have the intrusive ads. They don't get bought out by a big corpo. And they're just, you know, like, it's user-friendly because, like, the users that actually contribute to the page feel like they contribute to something. There is trust.
Can't make another Twitter. And even if you could, you shouldn't. But there are a ton of talented, smart people out there
Maybe you should
that
now.
can create wikis better than Fandom, because wikis stand in opposition to what large internet companies need in order to operate. The literal source code of almost all wikis, MediaWiki, is open source and free for everyone, and it's been that way since 2002. Wikis are community created and exist to share information freely and efficiently. Fandom exists to serve you ads and make as much money as it can, and it will compromise its own value to the community it claims to care about to do just that. In 2019,
That's-
after the admins of the RuneScape wiki left, a representative from Fandom shared the following message. Fandom as a company has taken steps and made some feature changes in the last couple of years that did not put our communities and their needs first, and that understandably angered quite a few users. Going forward, it's our goal to collaborate with the community whenever possible, rather than dictate changes. That was 4 years ago, and things have only gotten worse.
Yeah.
The reality is that Fandom has no reason to change their practices regarding their community unless way more wikis start migrating off their site. Luckily, each individual community on Fandom does hold the power to migrate somewhere else, so perhaps it's only a matter of time. Now, I've been
Yep.
pretty mean to Fandom throughout this video.
Oh man, I really thought he was gonna say something like, yeah, but don't give it too much shit because it was able to provide you with some information. That's what I thought. This is where it went to, but no, it's so fucking based. It's so fucking based. It just Fandom's a capitalist shithole, and even if it has helped me out. I did say I use it a lot. Even if it has helped me out a lot, I'll never support them. Never. Actually, not anymore. Can't say never because I already did it. And you know, I know there's like nobody in the fucking chat, but I'm still gonna post it here. Watch the video. Mossbag. Really cool guy. Like the video. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan of Hollow Knight. That's why. Yeah, I know there's nobody in here, but just in case there was somebody, watch the video yourself. Give him that watch. Give it a like. Give him sub. Maybe. I guess we can read a couple of comments. I'm gonna do an Asmongold. 80% of the Splunky 2 wiki here with the massive help of the rest of the community. Thank you so much for making this video and spreading awareness of the wiki rabbit hole. So nice seeing a channel with as many eyes as yours get talking about this stuff. I, for the most part, retired from the Splunky wiki, but I very much hope the Splunky wiki makes a move soon. Yeah, see, like I said it before, it's definitely good to make this, but it's not gonna have as much of an effect as you think it has, because the people that will watch it and will do it are the people that are brain dead on social media. The worst thing about this whole mess is that Fandom is never gonna remove the old wiki as long as they can farm ad rev off of it. They're always gonna leave it there no matter how outdated it gets and keeps the wiki split. I know more than one community that deliberately had their old wiki vandalized in an attempt to get it pulled, but it rarely works. Yeah, that's the thing. That was the main problem there. That if they had deleted it, it would have been so much easier, but they won't delete it, and that's where the problem is. Because they can just get that sweet ad revenue, you know? Get that free bag. But then, yeah, you can vandalize those pages of wikis that have moved. Don't just vandalize wikis, by the way. Only vandalize the ones that have actually moved to a better wiki hosting site. I'm old enough to remember when Fandom was still Wikia, and what's sad is that the site didn't have the ads it does today, and also after the rebrand where they slowly started introducing more and more ads until it basically became unbearable. Yeah, it's just ads. That's the big problem. It's the ads. That was my main gripe before I even watched the video as well. So. Oh shit, Shay? Developer for the Terraria Calamity mod, and I can tell you firsthand, Fandom is terrible. Please do not use them, ever. Even the process of switching from them to our own site, and for base Terraria 2, has been a complete mess, with them straight up refusing to take down pages that spread misinformation. Nowadays, the community has protested so much by repeatedly vandalizing it day to day that they've just been forced to stop trying to fix it, now the community uses it as a shitpost palace. Don't use Fandom. Yeah, that's... like, you have to vandalize it so much that they will stop doing it. I mean, but all it takes is one person to vandalize it, right? All it takes is one person to vandalize it. Give everyone a day. Oh yeah, today, Lil Johnny is gonna vandalize that website. Tomorrow, we're going to have Frederick vandalize the website. And then just keep going all the way. Oh, little Sammy wants to do it now? Good, go for it. That's the way you should do it. Just keep doing that shit. But again, only do it on the wikis that have moved. That have actually moved. Not the wikis that don't. Because there are a lot of people that understandably don't want to do that whole thing because of the hard battle that they have to fight against Fandom and their SEO. As admin of a wiki that moved in 2018, do it! Leave Fandom! Run and don't look back! It's been an awesome journey, and we've been grabbing that sweet SEO back through hard work and new content. I'm a bit baffled at the reported cost of a server, even for a large wiki. Ours is still kind of small and low traffic, but it costs under $10 a month. We've never had the slightest need to raise our current cap. My codeman insists on paying the fee, else we'd split, but I think that a lot of mid-sized wikis, crowdfunding is doable, and ads are entirely avoidable. So don't be afraid of needing to deal with that. I second the rest of what was said in the video. If you're in need of help, especially in this French sphere, don't hesitate to ask me. Yeah, it's with these kind of wikis, I think live service games will have an easier time moving because there will be new content to update their wikis on, and there'll be new pages. Like maybe Fandom like actually has like nobody to actually add these pages, right? For example, there's like a new boss out in some kind of Minecraft update. There's a new mob. The fucking... what was the mob that won this time? The crab? I don't know. Was it the crab that won? I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, the crab! Fandom doesn't have that page because Fandom has nobody to actually update the damn thing. Or nobody that's smart enough to update the damn thing. So that's why you can move over to the Minecraft wiki. Because they have information about the crab. You know? That's the thing. So like for live service games, I mean Minecraft is kind of a bad example of that. I think it's a lot easier, but like games that are completely done, completely finished. Like if you're gonna look for information on like Doom, let's say on Doom, that game is completely finished, you know? It's never gonna be updated again. So it's gonna be a lot harder to win the fight against the SEO that way. Because there are no new pages. But yeah. So that was a video. Really cool. Really neat.